Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I'm What If Study, and today we are beginning. I don't even know what this is going to be. I'm just going to spit and see where I come out. Deku sits before the doctor when he's around 5. Excited, elated even. He's so excited to see what his quirk was. The injection that he had taken before, the testing that had been done on him, was painful, but it was all worth it for this moment. He waited up till that last second, and then it all shatters away as the doctor comes back in, sad and almost happy in a way, dramatic, but he showed no emotion. He only sat down and looked Deku in the eye, saying, "Young man, you have no quirk. Sorry, kid." He walks up, he just leaves, leaving Deku paralyzed, his eyes stained onto the wall behind him. Still stuck in that position. Even when he got home, he was still in that position. Until he saw the TV, the video. His favorite hero, All Might saving everybody, with a smile, and yet he couldn't keep one on his face. All he could do was crack this molded, half-witted smile. He never meant the smile. It never came to him naturally. Ever since that day, he found it hard to smile, but he had to for life. Life was hard. He needed to. And such he cried on his mother's shoulder every night. She told him, "You can cry. Cry all you want, as long as it's on my shoulder." So he did. Years and years went by. It didn't get better. He still cried, just like the day that it happened. He started going to school now, but that only made it worse. Bakugo, that bastard. He didn't worship Bakugo as much as he did in the original. However, this time, it was more a necessity following him for protection, but he ended up just getting beat up as much as he did before. Anyways, he didn't praise Bakugo, which pissed him off a little less. However, Bakugo just regaled him with insults the whole time anyways, which eventually leads into a confrontation. Deku huddled behind Bakugo in a game of tag. The others were using their quirks while he was, well, alone. He huddled behind Bakugo until Bakugo just slapped him away from him, throwing Deku onto the ground. He said, "God damn it, Kajan. Come on, you gotta at least play some fair." God damn it, Deku. Damn it, Deku, you're so pitiful. You want me to be your hero so goddamn bad, you won't even be your own. Go out and do something heroic then. Kill some villains. Do whatever. Come back to me and then we'll talk about me being your hero. Even girls started to date him ironically. There's one girl that he started to date that he had always loved before. Momo. The fashionista of their school, actually. She'd always craft her own dresses and different stuff, and actually made her own car as she drove away. He loved her for that quirk. How interesting it was. He would take notes in his head every time she drove away until she came up to him one day asking if they could date. She giggles as he answers, "Of course. I would love to do that, yes." Almost half a year goes by over the summer. Deku, around the age that it became middle school, by the end of middle school, actually, Momo tells him near the end of the school year. Come on, smile for me, come on. You have to, 'cause I said so. He says, oh, okay, I will. Forcing the smile out. Although it hurt him a little bit inside to do it, but, he continued on smiling anyways. For her. For others. Like all might would have, right? However, he almost felt like he had to ask her permission to smile again. If he could stop smiling. So he came to her with this frozen smile on his face, so fake and yet not really, there. It almost seemed like it was frozen on his face by this point, nailed onto it like a cross, for all to see. As he came to her, she says, "Oh, that freak! I can't believe that you dared me to go out with him. Ah, Mina, you're so bad." As he hides behind the door. As they, all three of the girls look to notice the door creaking open, but stop and continue their conversation. Mina says, "Oh, come on. I told you. It's funny, isn't it? You got all the fixtures, you can lord this over all of the other boys. That you really committed, though. I was surprised. It's almost like you actually like him." As if Asui interrupts as she comes out of one of the closets with one of the dresses that was ready for the prom night. As she opens up the door quite begrudgingly, hitting Deku on the nose, arcing his nose actually in as he silences his mouth by holding his hand to his mouth, which was currently bleeding from the nose all the way down to the chin. Asui hears the drips of blood as Deku starts to make his way out, as Asui sees his foot around the corner. She follows Deku out to the dance floor as he grabs onto his jacket and starts to leave the building. Right as he makes his way outside, the door still swinging open, Asui stops it as Deku just lets himself bawl his eyes out. He was holding his hands to his face. He couldn't stop crying. He didn't know where this was all coming from. "I hadn't even drank this much water in the last month." She wanted some water. "At least I can still smile for her." Asui says, "Oh, so you saw that, didn't you?" As he says, "Oh, Asui. This is hard to say. Can you go, please? This is my alone." As then his tears flow again, making his eyes red and pussed up. But he continues to smile. As she asks, "Why do you smile?" "That's my question." I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's for her, maybe it's for me. Okay, I'm gonna head back inside. You take care of that, though. Good luck. She she finger guns her way out. Classic anybody, really. As Deku just stays outside, though, for the whole night. As he looks off into the moon, sitting down on the grass, kind of feeling his world again. He just wants to feel like this wonder that's in the air. Such a night is so wonderful, isn't it, Moon? He starts speaking to inanimate objects by this point. His mother comes to get him, but however, she can find him. As he continuously wanders among the populace by this point, he just starts walking. Smiling under his jacket, he just continues on. wearing that same jacket and suit from that night. He goes out into the world as he walks from town to town. He doesn't stop. The one thing that he does want to see right now. All Might. As really anybody that talks to him, they come upon some mentioning of All Might and Momo's name. Anybody that talks to him really is just kind of creeped out a little bit by his vibe, because his vibe is usually just like, I'm just bored of life now. As he can't really tag any of his emotions to anything. He can't really sympathize with other people anymore. He feels this sort of loneliness away from other people. He can't understand why people frown. Why do you frown? Talking to one of the bartenders. Listen, dude, I'm just trying to get your order. What do you want? Oh, you're so boring. I'll have a Mickey D's twice. And also a side of fries. Please. With extra happy sauce. As the guy's like, okay, was that just for you here or to go? To go. Please. Holding a bag to his left side, full with Mickey D sauce. And where would that be, sir? Farron City. Sir, that's under attack right now. I know. Fine. Well, deliver it to the outside, to the outskirts. Is that fine? Yes, thank you for your wonderful service. And remember, keep a smile. As he juggles his way out of the place, most of the people still staring at him, just, concerned for their own safety. After all, he looked quite like a villain. He had gotten a much more fitting sweatshirt, just like a little purple one with a smiley face on the front. Yeah, like togas, basically. Yeah. So when the truck comes out, he hops onto the top of it, trying to keep his feet stable and steady, trying to be quite lightfoot. However, he ends up just smashing onto his backside. Once they come to check, he sort of just flips onto the back of it quite fast and flips back onto the top side. Whew, that was a close one. All right. As he stands up, he's like, whoa, that's way harder than I thought. As he falls back down, sort of catching his fall this time, stopping himself from falling off, and also making such a ruckus. He does this successfully. They drive over the hills for almost half an hour, until finally it stops. This flickering light in the distance, this blazing flame that Deku can sense, almost see. He can smell the scent of burning flesh. Ah, yes, it's beautiful. The guy gets out, kind of just sitting there with the pizza, as Deku grabs the pizza out from behind him, as he doesn't notice, and sneaks off to the left into the forest, and makes his way into Farron, holding the pizza above his head. However, he's interrogated by one of the wolves in the forest. He easily just kicks it with his lanky leg, shooting it up into the sky, and then brings it down with a harsh stab to the face with one of his many cutlery knives that he had gotten from that pizza cutter place. He continues on his way as he walks into Farron. This forest just set a stalking blaze. It was slowly being cauterized from the inside. Everything on the middle was completely burnt, but safe. The outskirts were freshly inflamed. The inside, however, had many dead bodies, but items to loot. So, Deku heads to the middle of the city. The charred corpses and different obstacles and different cars all blocked his path, and the dust wasn't quite clear how to breathe through it anyways. He continued on anyways, following his own feet through the city until he luckily found a sweet spot, a burger shack, just like the Mickey D's downtown. He walks in the charred corpses as he jokes around with one of them, hitting them with his shoulder, and they instantly crumble to dust. He's like, well, if this seat isn't taken, fine. Isn't this nice? Right, Karen? As like there's another corpse right in front of him. He's like, you're such a kidder. Alright. Now to do what I'm here for. A gust of wind blows past Deku's face, sweeping up all of the papers except one that stays where it was, completely still. He looks over to it and sees the main menu's, sigil, the icon of the thing, about a round B&B, as an icon. He grins to himself as he presses down onto it. Suddenly, locking gears start to sound as the inside of the table starts to move. The whole place starts to shift, and then the floor collapses below him as the table drags him down under. The whole, floor of it starts to crumble and then let go of him. He then falls down into a mechanized underground of it and is suddenly placed into one room. This room filled to the brim with nothingness. As I thought. This is exciting! I wish there was somebody here, though. Whatever. As he walks forward and opens up the door that was in the empty room. An eye greets him at the door. This massive eye stares into him, almost like it's staring into his soul. Excuse you? Looking at me up and down? Are you trying to start a fight? As the eye squints at him. This massive pulsating eye then leans away to reveal a body behind it that lingers like a snake over to attach back to the eye. The body signals him to enter as he goes into the busting underground, which was full of villains from all corners of the world. This massive multi-million project that had been made from here, that at least he overhears from a conversation from one of the big high-tech sort of villains that roam around here, says to another about how this was a multi-million-dollar project, this underground, trying to make this whole place into this, utopia of bad guys is kind of hard, trying to get a bad guy. You ever try to get a bad guy builder? You'll never find one. We're just used to crushing. Yeah. As he walks into the huge nightclub, lasers, all this different stuff are being shot everywhere. It's crazy. However, he's like, I'm starting to get used to this place, though. He makes his way down to the middle spire, as there are multiple spires with strippers on them, of course. This is a place of sin, and only sin corrupts, and sin brings along sluts. So, you're gonna get that. So, he makes his way to the middle spire. He notices the girl on top of it. She's wearing the earrings and special golden nails. As she gets down to his level, what's a boy doing around here? He's like, I can't hear a word she's saying, but I'm just here to see All Might. Ha! You're pretty funny, kid. What's the password? He winks twice, and she says, wrong, but good try, kid. The under her spire opens up to reveal a floor under it. All the people part from the floor, surprised that this is happening during the day. Some of them knowing of, who goes down there usually. Only all for one. As Deku descends down into the depths of this, leaving everybody back to the party. As they continue that, the door shuts by itself. Deku enters into the silent underground. The bass still booming down there too, however, was suppressed by some sort of quirk, he assumed. He heard quiet discussions and plans plotting everywhere. He would only get one shot at this. He needs to make this quick. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.